I know we could spend a whole hour just on this, but maybe just, very quickly, tell us a little bit about kind of what it was like then actually operationalizing some of this change from within.
Hmm.
I mean, basically on the heels of all these, national and state events that were happening at the time.
Yes, there were so many events that were happening at that time. And events within state government that were very significant as well. And you know, it was challenging and also rewarding at the same time. It was challenging for me being young and a new leader, right? Recognizing that um, leadership, all the courses and all of the books, everything you want to read about leadership is wonderful until you actually have to do it, right? And then you have to figure out, what kind of leader am I? How do I, I think I was like 33 or something when I started in this position, the youngest, leader of this office, first black woman with a PhD. Everyone before me had an MD, or no, they'd all had MDs. So, I felt like I had a lot to prove, but I also had a lot to learn about myself, how to navigate working as a supervisor over people who were old enough to be like my parents, how to work also as a supervisor with people who were like my same age, right? How to still be the personable leader that I am while still creating boundaries, for discipline and boundaries, right? That to hold people accountable. Um, so I think that was one thing that I had to navigate. I think the other was really helping people understand what health equity actually is. I spent so much of my time, and so much of my role was focused on defining health equity, helping people understand this is what health equity is, this is what it isn't. Racism, and addressing racism, is a core and fundamental requirement for health equity work, right? If you want to, skip around, and if you want to walk around the perimeter of that, and you don't want to speak about it head on, and not just speak about it, but actually work to deconstruct it, you are not doing health equity work. So I think navigating spaces where I was often the only black person in a room, in leadership tables, the only black woman in leadership spaces, and kind of also navigating when to hold them and when to fold them, right? I am one person, and to think that only one person could completely intercept a system that was built on oppression, that was built on white supremacy, that was built to work exclusively, really, for white men, um, is flawed, right? Like, I do think one person can make a difference. However, I'm very clear on the fact, and because of this experience, I'm very clear on the fact that it cannot only be one person, right? You have to have a movement, and you have to have support, and you have to have others to see that this is an important cause to champion. Otherwise, those systems that continue to grind and work perfectly will grind you up in the process as well.